So, hello everyone. A very good afternoon to everyone. Okay. So, in this lecture, we are trying to solve all this interview question based on computer network. So, this topic is very important for very many computing companies that ask the networking related question. So, when we talk about the networking, so like the first thing come in our mind is that like this network, okay, this network firewall, okay, this router. Okay. So what is internet, firewall, routers, IP, printer, desktop? So how this network work? Okay. So let's start the session. So let's see. Okay. The first question is, what is the network? Okay. What is the network? So like according to the Merriam-Webster, network is usually the information. Network is the generally information. Network is usually a informally interconnected group or association of different entity like person, computer, radio station, and etc. So it is called informally interconnected group. Network is a informally interconnected group that association with different entities. Okay. For example, if Domino's has a network 1232 branches across India, so as the name suggested, as a computer network is a system of peripheral. So we can say that is a computer network is a system of peripheral computer interconnected with each other and has a standard communication channel established between them to exchange the different type of information and data. So this is the exact meaning. This is the what the exact meaning and exact definition we have to say in front of into a like computer network. So network is like informally interconnected group. And when someone is talking about what is computer network, then you have to say like it is a system of peripheral computer connected with each other and has a standard communication channel. Have some standard communication channel that's established between them to exchange different type of information and data. Okay, so you understand what is network and then what is computer network. Okay, so by this one you understand the meaning of computer network. Okay, let's move to the next question, that is why is computer network is so much important in our day-to-day life and this like interview. So why it is important? Okay, the first question is that have you ever heard about internet or the net? Okay, so I guess you have. So as you are already reading this article, like surfing in the like this thing, internet. But have you ever thought of about the is internet? The internet is so when what we will call so like internet is like a surfing like internet is a so like internet is a network connecting all different type of network enabled device which enable the data and information sharing between them and make them computer network a core part of our life or technical interviews. Okay, so let's see some basic networking questions. Okay, so how are the network types classified? So how a network type are classified? Okay, so like a network are classified and divided based on this area of distribution of the network, and the following are the diagram that would help to understand the same. First of all, if like network classified into based on the area of distribution, so in that basis the network are divided. First of all, you heard about like this, if the 1 meter areas in square meter, so that's personal area network. Okay, 10 meter like room, building, campus, cities. Okay, this is called LAN. We use LAN. Okay, this is PAN, personal area network, inside like under like 1 meter. And this when you're talking about the cities. Okay, so this city is like 1 kilometer to 2 kilometer to 10 kilometer, it is called MAN, metropolitan area network. And then like across the countries and continent, that is called wide area network. Okay. And across the planet, that is global area network. GAN, that is an internet. So these are the different type of network. Okay. Okay. And some, let's move to the another question, that is, so what are the private and special, like what is a private and special IP address? What do you mean by this one? Okay. Like private, as the name says, private. So each class, there are specific each class has some specific IPs that are reserved specially for the private use only. Okay. The IP address cannot be used for device on the internet. They are non-routable. Okay. So these are the like private IPs. So like class 4 IPs like IPv4, A, B, C. Okay. So private IP are that are not routables on internet. Okay. And when we talk about special IP, so IP range from this one like 127.0.0.001 to 127 to 1255 to 55 to 5 is are the network testing address, also known as a loop back addressing, that are the special IP address. Okay. These are the special IP addresses. Okay. And what is IPv4 address? So what is IPv4 address? So IPv4 address, what are the different classes for the IPv4 address? Okay. So Internet Protocol version 4. So let's understand or speak to this. An IP address of 32-bit. Okay. 32-bit dynamic address of node in an internet network. Okay. Like IP address is known as 32-bit dynamic address of the node in the network, and an IPv4 address has a 4 octet of 8-bit, 4 octet of 8-bit, each number with the value up to like 255. Okay. First of all, we have to understand like the IP address is a 32-bit dynamic address of the node in a network, and IPv4 address has a 4 octet of 8-bit, and each having number value up to the 255. Okay. When we're talking about the IPv4, this class are differentiated based, and when the like IPv4 class are differentiated on the basis of the number of hosts that support this network. Okay. The number of hosts that number of hosts it support on that network. Okay. So there are five type of IPv4 classes and are based on the first octet of IP address, which are classified as a class full, like class of A, B, C, D, E. Okay. So these are the classification. Okay. Based on this one. And the like IPv classes are differentiated based on the number of hosts that it supports. Okay. So when we're talking about the IPv4 A classes, it started with the point all this thing, and address like look like this one 127 to 55 to 55. So this look like this one. Okay. And the large network, when we're talking about the A, so in that case it will with the 128. So we can start like 191. Okay. 255 to 55. So this is a medium size network. When I see it start with the 192 because it ended and start with this one. Okay. So then 223, 555. This is the local area network. When again this is start with 224.0.0 so 239 is a multicasting things, and when we study and R&D, so this one is used for study and R&D. That is 2555, and this one last, this one. But these are like a classification of IP basis of their class name, right? A, B, C, D, E. Okay. So A is like for the large area network, B is a medium side, C is for the local area network, and the multicasting for this one D, and the E is like study and the R&Ds. Okay. We understand the different type of IPs, and we have to move to like define the different type of network topology. Okay. We have like different type of network topology. So for that one we have to write like Different type of network topology are like bus topology, star topology, all these things are. So when you are bus topology, that means that it is like single at so all nodes are that we see that all these nodes, okay, these all nodes, okay, nodes, these are known as nodes, okay. So all these nodes are connected by a single central link, though these are known as a central link, okay. This is a central link, okay, or known as bus. So this central link is known as a bus. So it is useful to connect a smaller number of devices. So it is useful for connection of the smaller number of devices. If the main cable get damaged, so if any of this fault occur, if any of the fault occur in the main cable, so like main cable damage, it will damage the whole network. So it can damage the, like in that case, this is also not working. So any other nodes stop working. Okay. So this is like the merit of this bus topology. And we move to the next is that star topology. So star topology look like these are the nodes, okay. So when we talk about this one, like star topology, all the nodes are connected to one single nodes that are known as a central node. So this is known as a central node, okay. And it is more robust than earlier one. If a central node is failed, then complete like network is damaged. So in this case, if it stop working like this one, so if start working, then whole network get like the whole network get damaged. So this was focus on this central, this one. And the mainly used for the office and network housing. Different is the ring topology. So like a ring topology is like these are the nodes. So each node are connected. Like in this we can see that each nodes are connected and forming a ring structure. Okay, you see that it's forming a ring structure. And if one node get damaged, so if any of this node get damaged, it will damage the whole structure. If this get damaged, then this network get damaged. So it is usually like used very rarely and expensive and hard to install and manage. Okay, we move to next, that is mesh topology. So like this is what is mesh topology, okay. So each node is connected to one or many nodes. So if we see that this node, okay, if you see this node 1 is connected to this node 1 2 3 node 3, okay. And this thing node 1 is connected to node 2 also, okay, and node 5 also, okay, and there is a node 6. Then this we can say that in this like each node is connected to one or many nodes, okay, one or many nodes. So it is a robust as a failure in one of the link, like it is robust as the failure of one link only disconnect that node. So if it is like damaged, so it continue working because it have some connection on this one. So if one link get damaged, so it disconnect that node, okay. It is rarely used for the installation and management. Oh, okay. Welcome back. So it is rarely used, and rarely used, and installation and management are very difficult because we have to like make a connection to one or many. So it is like difficult for to manage and like install. Okay. When move to a tray topology, so we see that this one is a root. Okay, root, and this like this is the right subtree. Okay, this is a root right subtree. Okay, and this one is a left subtree. Okay. So in tree topology, we can see that like a combination, it is a combination of star and bus topology and known as the extended bus topology. Okay. All the smaller all the smallest star network are connected to a single bus. Okay, all the smallest star are connected to a single bus, and main bus if the main bus fail, the whole network is damaged. Okay, if any of the bus is failed, like this got failed. Okay, if this failed, then whole network from right side, left side, it got damaged. Okay. So, and another one is like hybrid. It is a combination of different type of topology to form a new topology. Okay, and it helped to ignore the drawback of the particular topology and help to pick the strength from the other. Okay, so this is all about like topologies. Okay, so we see the different type of topologies. So what what is topology? Okay, so we are topology. So what is the network topology? So we have to explain. So like network topology is a physical layout of this network. Okay, so it is a physical layout of network and connecting the different node using the link. So if it is like this node and this is the another node. Okay, okay, network topology is a physical layout of the network and connecting the different node using this link, and it depicts the connectivity between these computers. Okay, connectivity between the computer and the devices in the cable. Okay, so what are the node and what are the link is that we are talking about? So like nodes and links. So node and link. So node, any communicating device. So any communicating device network is known as node, and node is the point of intersection of the network. So node is the point of intersection of the network. It can send or receive the information within this network. So if we talking about the node, this one, it can send, okay, send information and can receive the information. Okay, can receive the information. Okay, so it can send the information and receive the data and information. For example, node can be a computer, laptop, printer, sub, all these things. When we're talking about a link or edge refer to the connectivity between the two nodes. So this thing is the edge. Okay, the edge refer to the connectivity between two nodes in that network. Okay, it includes the type of connectivity like wired or wireless between the network nodes, and protocols used for one node, and protocol used for one node. Okay, yeah. Okay, so like need protocol to use one node to able to communicate with the other one. Okay, so you understand. So these are the like basic understanding of network, like a node, link, all these things. We we solve the different interview question that are like harder than this one. So these are like the basic. So if you know, just skip this part. Okay, and what is the different type of VPNs? Okay, okay. For the different type of VPN are like access VPN, site to site VPN, intra or extra. Okay, intra or extra. Okay, like access VPN mean that access VPN is used to provide connectivity to the remote mobile user, and the telecommuter. Okay, so it serve as the alternative of dial-up connection or the ISDN. So ISDN mean that integrated service digital network. Okay, connection. So it is low cost communication and provide a wide range of wide range of connectivity. To understand what is like access VPN, so access VPN is like provide connectivity to the like mobile user and telecommuter. So it serves as an alternative of dial-up connection and ISDN. Okay, a low cost solution that provide a wide range of like connectivity. And second thing is a site to site VPN. Okay, site to site VPN. So site to site or router to router VPN is commonly a in a large company having a branch of different location and want to connect. So site, like if a company have a large, so in this company, if you are working in any company, so we see that they're having the branches in different location, and they want to connect that office or network to from the different location. Then these two subcategories are mentioned, that like site to site, in that like intranet or the internet. So intranet is used for, as the name says, intranet. So like internet VPN is useful for connecting a remote office in different geographical location, but share the same infrastructure. Okay. So internet within that thing. Okay. The internet connectivity and the server with the same accessibility policies as a private WAN. Okay. Internet is like internet VPN is useful for connecting remote offices at different geographical location using a shared infrastructure with the same accessibility and policies. Okay. And when we're talking about the extranet VPN, so extranet VPN use a shared infrastructure over the internet, supplier, customer, partners, and other utilities and connect them for the dedicated connection. Okay. So extranet like share the infrastructure with different over the internet, over the supplier, customer, partners, and other entity. So in that case, so extranet VPN is used. Okay, internet for the within the office, external for different users. Okay, so what are the advantages of VPN we are talking? Why we use VPN? Okay, so what is the advantage of VPN? Okay, like we can see the different advantages of this VPN. So VPN is like virtual private network is used to connect the office at different geographical location remotely, and it is cheaper as compared to the wide area network. Okay, so we can use like if the office is located at Gurugram and another office is located at the Bangalore. Okay, if you want to disconnect, so like if the distance between is like approx 1000 kilometers, so for that one we instead of using the wide area network we use in like kilometer, instead of using this wide area network. Okay, so we try to switch to the local area network, that is LAN. Okay, so VPN is used for a secure transaction and confidential data transfer between a multiple office located in different geographical locations. So if you want to like transfer some like important data, so if you want to transfer like important data to this location to this location, like secret, with the full confidential data, like these are data are confidential. So in that case, we can use VPN. Okay. So VPN keep an organization information secure against any potential threat or like intrusion by using the virtualization. Okay, so make this data more secure. Okay, VPN encrypt the internet traffic and disguise the online identity. Okay, first of all, like encrypt this folder and disguise the online identity. Okay, so VPN help in different way. Okay, so okay, so we are talking about what is VPN. So uh, what is VPN? The main thing is we understand different type of VPN, then what advantage of VPN. So what is VPN? Tell me about something about VPNs. Okay. So like we are like discussing, we understand first what is different type of VPN. So you know everything. So like interview maybe ask like counter question on that one. So in that one we can he can ask something like what is the advantage of VPN? So you say the advantage of VPN, then he can again ask the counter question that tell me something about like what is virtual private network. Okay. So for that one we can say that a VPN or known as a virtual private network or a private WAN, private wide area network built on the internet. Okay, and it allow the creation of secure tunnels. So it allow a creation of secure tunnel between these two geographical region. Okay, so we have office at this position. Okay, okay. So okay, so, okay. So we see this one again. We have some like offices at different location. We see an office at different location. Okay. So it created a protected tunnel. So it is a kind of protected tunnel. It is a protected network. We consider protected network. Okay. Protected network. Okay. like a different network using like this one. By using the VPN, a client can, this one is client and server. So like this one is client and the server. So client can connect with organization remotely. Okay. And below are the diagrams. So like this is the diagram of the internet. So we like park using at this location. Okay, this location of any, like in Bangalore, it's some location at this position. Okay, and like this, no, okay, this is like a Perth. Okay, and in Melbourne there is another office of this company, and in Brisbane there is the company of this one. Okay, via internet they are connected, via link via their internet. Okay, so like virtual private network through which they can like share the data. Okay, what is the LAN? We understand the LAN. So LAN, we know that what is LAN. Okay, LAN are the widely used network computer electronics that enable the share the resources and exchange the information. When LAN are used for the company organization, they are called that enterprise network. Okay, there are two type of LAN. Okay, wireless LAN and the wired LAN. So wireless LAN are very popular because these days for the place where the installing the wire is difficult, as we see below, wireless LAN and the wired LAN. So the Ethernet switch is needed with port for the rest network. Okay. So the explanation of different type of networking, that LAN, MAN, PAN. So we see that differentiation, like what is an personal area network, local area network, metropolitan area network, WAN, global. Okay, let the device to connect and communicate over the range of a person, like Bluetooth and device. So LAN is like it is a privately owned network and can operate within a single building, like office, factory, all these things. Metropolitan area network, it is like it connect and cover the whole city. Okay, WAN is span that large geographical area, often countries, continent. These are the internet for the WAN. GAN is that it is known for the internet where like which connect the globe using satellite, and the internet is also called, okay, network as a WAN. Okay, now we cover whole basic question that is not that much important, but we have we have to know some understanding of this one. So we move to the intermediate interview question on this one. And the first question that every winter definitely asks for, the difference, like a differentiate OSI reference model with the TCP and IP reference model. So what is the difference? Okay, we can see that OSI have the 7 layer, like physical layer, okay, data link layer, network layer, transport layer, session layer, presentation layer, and application layer. So like in this, like we have 7 layers. Okay, but in the TCP and IP, only that data link layer for the network is internet, transport, and this application layer. So like only four layer are exist. 4 layer are exist. Okay, these are comprised on this one. Okay, so like let's see the difference. So OSI layer and the TCP model. Okay, OSI model and the TCP model. Okay, so first of all, it is 7 layer architecture. This is a 4 layer architecture. Okay, and the fixed boundary and functionality of each layer, and the fixed boundary and functionality of each layer, and flexible architecture with no strict boundary within. Okay, between them, like all these things. Okay, low reliability, higher reliability on this one, like vertical approach, and this is known as the horizontal approach technique. So these are like different type of model, different type of reference model, and there's a difference between. Okay, okay, so move to the next question, that is also important. What is the use of router and how it is different from the gateway? Okay, so router is a networking. So like we have to see the difference between router and networking. Okay. Like router is a networking device that is used for connecting two or more network segment. Okay. So this network segment and this is the network segment. So for this one we use router. Okay. Okay. and it direct the traffic in this network. So it direct the traffic inside this network, and it transfer the information and data like web pages, email, image, video, etc. from the source to destination. Okay, in the form of packet. So in the data is like passed in the form of packet and where router. Okay, and it operate in a network layer. So like when we are talking about in which layer the router is working, so we can say that it operate in the network layer. Okay, and whereas the gateway are also used to route and regulate the network traffic, but they can also send data between two dissimilar networks. So these are the similar networks. So, okay, these are the two network segment in which it direct the network traffic and transfer the information and data like web page, email, video, and all these things. Whereas like this one is like one network, and this is the another network. Okay, so in that case the gateway is used. Okay, so it can send data between the two dissimilar network, while router can only send data to a similar network. Okay, what is router and what is gateway? So gateway send like data and information between two dissimilar network. Okay, whereas like a router send the data between a network having the network like two or more segments. Okay, we move to the next question. What is DNS? Okay, so DNS. So like DNS stands for like a DNS is a domain name system. Okay, and it is considered as a device service directory. So it is like kind of a phone. We can say that it is a phone book. Okay, directory or in your phone book or can service or directory of the internet. Okay, so it is decentralized and hierarchical naming system of the device and services. So it is a hierarchical and decentralized naming system for device and services connected to the internet. So these are connected to the internet. Okay, and it translates the domain name to the corresponding IP. The main uses of this DNS is this one. Okay, is translate the domain names. First of all, it translated a domain name to corresponding IP, and like if we we are talking about if it is like written as something. Okay, it's like google.google.com. So in that case, it return some particular value by using the port of 56 by default. So you have to remember the port that is 56 for this DNS. Okay. What is SMTP protocols? So what is SMTP protocols? Okay. So SMTP full form Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. So Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, SMTP set the rules for the communication between the server. Okay. Like SMTP is like rules and like rule setter. Okay, this set of rules help the software to transmit email over the internet. So like this help to transmit the email over the internet. It support both end-to-end store and forward. This forward method, it always listening at a port number 25. So SMTP listening at the port number 25. So it is like providing, it set a rule for the communication between the servers. Okay, it help the software to transmit the email over the internet. It support both end-to-end and store and forward method. Okay, and its listening port is 25. Okay, so this is sender over the internet. We can send an email to different server. Okay, and POPs is used for like delete and all this thing. Okay, we like study of the session. So what is the difference between HTTP and HTTPS protocols? Okay, we understand SMTP. Okay, so it like we can say that it is like a rule setter. Okay, and like HTTP set the rules between the servers. Okay, now we move to what is the HTTP and HTTP protocols. Okay, first of all we have to understand this one. So HTTP is known as the Hypertext Transfer Protocol, which define a set of rules and standards how the information can be transmitted on the web. Okay, so HTTP focus on how the information and data should be transmitted on the web, okay, www, like a world wide web, and it help the web browser. So it help the web browser and the web server for the communication. It help the web browser and web server for the communication. It is a stateless protocol where each command is independent with respect to the previous command, okay. And HTTP is an application, so HTTP is and the application layer protocol, okay. It is most important that it is in the application layer protocol built upon the TCP, and it is used as a port number 80. So we remember that what are the like different ported we have port we have, remember. For DNS we use 53, okay. DNS like DNS we use 53, okay. For the SMTP we use 25. For the SMTP we use 25, okay, 25. And this like STTP for we use 80 by default 80, okay. Understand, it is like define the set of rule and standards to how the information and data we send over the world wide web, okay. And if we add some security layer, so then it become HTTPs, okay. Is a HTTPS, so it is hypertext transfer protocol secure version, okay. It is an advanced and secure version of HTTP on the top of HTTP, and SSL or TLS protocol is used to provide this security, okay. This ensures that the transaction by the encrypting the communication can also help to identify the network server securely, and it use the port number 443 by default. So if in simple word we can say, if we add this HTTP plus the security layer, that is TLS and SLS, then it become HTTPS, okay. And we remember the port number of this one, HTTPS, is 443, okay. So these are the the port number definitions of this thing, okay. Now we move to the next. Define the four type. We have to define the four different type of layer of TCP reference model, okay. So like we discussed that the in TCP model, we have like four reference models. So what are this reference model? We know that this is like link layer, internet layer, transport layer, and the application layer, and each having the different protocol. For the link layer, we know that it DLS, SONET, yes, IEEE something net, and Ethernet. So these are the like protocols that is used in the link layer. For the internet, only two: IC or ICMP. Okay, sorry, IP and ICMP. Okay. For this transport layer, how we transport, like through TCP or UDP. These are the transport layer, and the application like HTTP. We know that SMTP is also available in this one. RTP and DNS. All these things are present in the application layer. These are the protocol that are used. Okay. So let's see the like definition of different layer. So like when we're talking about the link layer, so link layer in which it decide which link, such as serial link or the classical Ethernet, must be used to meet the need of connectionless internet layer. Okay, so like a link decide which decide which link, such as linear, serial link, and the classic Ethernet must be used to meet the need of connectionless internet layer. Okay. When we're talking about the internet layer, so this internet layer is one of the most important layer which hold the architecture of this together. Okay. It delivers the IP packet where they support supposed to be delivered. Okay, so it delivered the IP packet where they are supposed to be delivered. Okay. And when you're talking about the transport layer, it is so we can say that it is functionality is almost same as the OSI transport layer. So in like OSI, also a transport layer, the functionality is similar. So it enable the peer entities or peer entities on network. Okay, peer entities on the network, and on the network to carry the conversation. Okay, enable the like peer entities network. Okay. An application layer, it contains all the higher level protocols that are like HTTP, DNS, SMTP, all these things. So these are different layer and describe, and we understand what a different type of layer and all definition. Now we move to describe TCP reference model. Okay, so I will define TCP reference model. Okay, so it is a compressed version of OSI model with only 4 layer. Okay, so it is a compressed version of this OSI layer having only 4 layer, and it is developed by a US department, by DoD, US Department of Defense. Okay, name of this model is based on two standard protocols, that is TCP and IP. So TCP means transmission control protocol, and this IP, that is internet protocol. So these are like definition for this TCP reference model. Okay. And now we have to define what is like define the 7 layer of OSI model, the OSI reference model. Okay, so we know that starting from the data, physical, data, network, transport. Okay, transport, session, and session, presentation, and application. So 7 layers we have. Okay, we see like we have to know like it is physical layer, data layer, and network layer. These are the hardware layer. Okay, transport layer is known as a heart of OSI layer. Okay, and this session and presentation and application layer is known as a software layer. Okay, so these are the different layers. So what are the like explanation on all the definition of this different layer? So when we're talking about this physical layer, in which what unit are exchanged, so the unit exchange are in the form of bits. Okay, is given. It is concerned with the transmitting the raw bits over the communication channel. Okay, though that physical layer is like where the Ethernet, where all the data are in the sent in the form of over the bits. Okay, choose which type of transmission mode is to be selected for the transmission, and the available transmission mode will be like simplex, duplex, and full duplex. Okay, simplex mean that it can be only transmitted forward. Okay, half duplex mean that we can like only transmit, we can't like receive. In full layer we can send or receive both. Okay, and data link layer, so in that like this bit become frames. Okay, this bit become frames. Okay, and the main task of this layer is to transform the raw transmission facility into the line that appear free of the undetected transmission error. So this main task is like transforming this raw transmission facility, that are bits here, into like a line that is upper undetectable in this transmission error. It also allow detecting the damaged packet using CRC, that is called cyclic redundant check, or the error detecting, all this thing. Okay, then this like frames are used. Okay, when more than one node is connected, so when a more than one node is connected to a shared link, the data link layer protocol are required to be determined which device has control over the link at given time. So this is the working of the like data link layer. It also implemented by protocol like CSMA, CD, CSMA, okay, Aloha, and the token, all this thing. So like data link layer, the unit exchange is that frame. Okay, the main use like it convert or transform the raw facilities into the line that appear free from undetectable layer, and they can check that error by using like cyclic redundancy check, error detecting codes. All okay. So or it also check like it is like when it connected with the different nodes. Okay, we have one different node, so we have to check through which like to whom this share link have. Okay, so data link layer protocol are required to determine which device has the control over which link. Okay, and it also implemented different protocol like CSMA, CSMA, CD, collision avoidance, collision detection, Aloha, and the token parsing. Okay, and when we move to the next is that network. In this like it will be in the frame, so like it is like in the bit. Okay, 1 2 3. and we convert it into frames. Now this convert frame are connected into the packets. Okay, so it control the operation of the subnet. So the network layer, that talking about the network, it control the operation of the subnet, and the network layer take care of the feedback message through the ICMP message. Okay, like it can be take care by the feedback message from the ICMP message. Okay, and we move to the next, that is the IP, all this thing is happening here. So next move to the layer, that is transport layer, that is TPDU, transaction protocol data unit. In this transaction protocol data unit are used here. Okay, the basic functionality of this layer is to accept the data from this above layer. Okay, split into the smaller unit if needed and pass them to the network layer. Okay, so basic functionality is that it accepts the data from the above layers and split that data into the smaller unit if pass, and then pass to the network layer and ensure that all that pieces arrive correctly at other end. Okay, the transport layer take care of the segmentation and the assembly, all this thing like segmentation and the assembly of things are take care by the transport layer. Okay, we move to we move to session layer. Okay, that is SPDU, like session protocol data unit. Okay, this session layer allow you user on different machine to establish the session between them. Okay, like this user is working on different machine and this user working on a different machine. This session layer help to establish the connection between, or establish the session between this thing. Okay, and dialog control is using like full duplex link as a half duplex links. Okay, is sent out a dummy packet from the client to the server when client is idle. Okay, so it send a like a dummy packet to maintain the session. Okay, if the client different clients are idle. Okay, and then we move to the presentation layer where the PPDU presentation protocol data unit. Okay, the presentation layer is concerned about with the syntax and the semantic of the information transmitted. Okay, so presentation layer translate the message from the common form to encoded form. Okay, the common form to the encoded format which will be understood by the receiver. Okay, it a presentation layer act as a transmitter, so it concern about this syntax and symmetric, all this thing. We move to this application layer that we call as APDU, application protocol data unit. So it's contain a varieties of protocol that can commonly used by the users. Okay, like HTTP, all this thing. Application layer send data of any size to transport layer. Okay, and the final question that after that we wrap up this session. Describe the OSI reference model. Okay, so OSI stands for the Open System Interconnection, and it is a model architecture based on the ISO standard. Okay, ISO standards. Okay, so interconnection, open system interconnection. It is a networking architecture model based on this ISO standards. Okay, it is called OSI model as it deal with the connecting the system that are open for communication with the other system. So why we call at like open system interconnection? Because that system are open for the communication with other system. Okay, the OSI model has a 7 layer. We recently studied all different type of models. Okay, the principle used to arrive at 7 layer are summarized below that. Create a new layer if different abstraction is needed. Each layer have well defined function, and the function of each layer is chosen based on the in or internationally standardized protocol. Okay, so the function of each protocol are not like we give the name, so internationally it is standardized by different protocols. Okay, so we understand what is OSI layer, TCP models. Okay, and TCP model and different layer, different protocol use here, and HTTP, HTTPS, SMTP, DNS, all this we also know the port number, router and gateway. We understand router and gateway. Then we also understand the difference between this one and types of network, and what is VPN, different type of VPN we also see. node link topologies, basic topologies, and the last is that. And what is IPv4? So it's like 32-bit dynamic address. Each of address value reached to the 255. Okay. What are the use of like different IP classes we see here, and what is private session and the special session? So in private session, we are like special IPs are reserved from the particular private use, and the special IPs are ranging from this region for testing address or like loop back address. These are the special IPs. And this the starting what is network and the what is the computer network. Okay, so we are wrapping this session. In the next session we will see more intermediate question on this one. So